Verse 2. Then the king's attendants who served him said, "Let beautiful young virgins be sought for the king." So these young virgins, ladies, were herded up like a bunch of cattle. Some of these girls could have been 13, 14 years old. What were you doing when you were 13, 14 years old? And you're being herded up and taken away from your family. You're leaving your mom and dad, your siblings. You're taken to this strange palace where you don't know anybody. We'll talk about that. It says, "Then let the young lady who pleases the king be queen in place of Vashti." And the matter pleased the king, and he did accordingly. Now there was at the citadel in Susa a Jew whose name was Mordecai. A Jew. Okay, we don't know why Mordecai didn't return to Jerusalem at the end of the exile when all the other Jews did. But for whatever reason, and it was God, moved on Mordecai not to go back to Jerusalem. He chose, for some reason, to stay there. And it's a good thing he did, because he had Esther, his uncle's daughter, for she had no father or mother. Now the young lady was beautiful of form and face, and when her father and her mother died, Mordecai took her as his own daughter, and he loved her every bit as much. You know, the interesting thing about Esther is she never, ever showed any sign of bitterness toward what happened to her, bitterness toward the loss of her parents. Think about us. We sometimes fall into that bitterness. And yet, God, as we talked earlier, allowed it. And so if we can change our paradigm to say, yes, that did happen, but what am I going to do with it? And that seemed to be the way Esther dealt with the loss of her parents, being orphaned as a little girl, and then being taken away and put in this place, who knows, probably against her will. What 14-year-old girl wants to leave everything that's familiar to her? It would be very frightening, Haggai, that Esther was taken to the king's palace into the custody of Haggai, who was in charge of the women. Now verse 9 says, "Now the young lady pleased him and found favor with him." So he did something. What did he do, ladies? What did he do? Yeah, he went over and above for her and just poured it on thick. There was something about Esther that won his heart, and I think it was more than just her beauty. I think there was something inside. She stood tall, she wore a crown, and she was sweet on the inside. When really she had no reason to be. And it won his heart. I want to be that way. I want to stand tall. I want to wear a crown. I want to be sweet on the inside. And in spite of what's happened or will happen. Can we make that commitment here tonight? Lord, help me to be like an Esther. I want to stand tall in this situation. I want to wear a crown because I am a child of God. And I do not want to become bitter here. I want to become